Anyways, let me know what you think down in the description. Not the description. I keep saying the description. Comment section. Put the comments in the comments section. You're going to have a lot of trouble putting them in the description. Welcome back to the workbench where we try to make things. And what we're trying to make right now is Revell's 1971 Mach 1 Mustang. And this is for the Blue Ox Model Shop Street Machine group build. And we're making progress. So we're making progress on the undercarriage of the car. Little bit of changes since yesterday to today. Might not be completely noticeable, but we'll take a closer look and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I guess the biggest change you can see is I went ahead and painted the gas tank, and there's a reason I did that. Let me bring it on down here to the bottom camera so you can get a little closer look. So I needed to paint the gas tank because I realized I kept doing my Google research, and I realized that the fuel line, well, it came out right here on the, well, what do I have I can point with? It actually exits the tank right here on the side of the tank. This is where the pickup and sending unit and all that is right here. I don't know why I thought it was on the top of the tank. I think maybe gas tanks I've dealt with in the past, that's how they've been, but it's actually right here. So I put in a line. So if you remember right, we put in our fuel pump. Let me see if you guys can see it down under here, kind of hid it down under here. We used our ignition coil and kind of modified it a little bit to make it into a fuel pump and placed it right down here. So I had to run a fuel line kind of down there to it, or at least make it look like it's down there to it, and then running up the car, which we did yesterday. But I had to paint the tank so I could put that line in. Let me go and get the rear end out of the way. I can show you something else that I've started doing, which is the brake line. So I went ahead and ran this brake line on the top of, it'd be the top of the rear diff and along the rear end here. The only problem is if I put it back, let me put it back. I probably should have shown you before I took it apart. Where that brake line is at, especially because we've lowered the rear end, so the rear end sits further down that way. Where that brake line is, it's kind of getting into our exhaust. So what I think I'm going to do, and I hate to have to do this, what I think I'm going to do is just break that loose, break that free, and move it more to the front side, or actually be the back side of the... Well, that doesn't make sense too. I'm thinking out loud here, guys. We're thinking together, which for me is kind of a painful activity. This brain doesn't work like it used to, but I'm trying my best. I was thinking I could move it up front here, but then that kind of takes some realism away because then you can't get your diff cover off, right? Because your brake line, you'd have to pull your brake line loose to then get your diff cover. I don't think you'd want to do that. So maybe I'm just going to try to suck this in as tight as I can against the rear end. I'll leave it where it's at and just kind of push it on in here as tight as I can against the rear end. And I think that'll be our solution for the brake line, for the back brakes that run across and along the diff cover in the rear end and all that. Now, I did go ahead, let me pull the exhaust out of the way and we can take a look carefully. Pull that out of the way. So I started running whoops, let me bring it down here. I started running the line to go to the back, to the rear brakes. So it's going to be coming, so I've still got to make a distribution block, what do you call it? A proportioning valve. There we go. I still got to make a proportioning valve that I think is going to go, and most of the time I've seen them, they basically just kind of hang off the bottom of the master cylinder. So you got a little short run out of the master cylinder into the proportioning valve. And then I've left this wire, this is it here, hopefully you guys can see it. I've left this line loose, so because that'll turn into the back side of the proportioning valve, then run down the tunnel, which from what I can tell is where the brake lines actually ran to the back, was down the transmission tunnel. You know, the rest of the transmission tunnel will be here in the, the interior tub. So it'll kind of just run right here. Now the transmission runs right beside it. And the drive shaft runs right beside it, so it should be out of the way and I guess a good location. I don't know, but from what I can tell, that's how they run in the stock Mustangs. But it'll come back here, and then it'll be soft line, which I don't know if I have it here with me. I think it's downstairs. I have a fuel line that'll run from here, soft fuel line will run from here up onto the rear end, so that obviously the rear end would be able to move and you'd still have brakes and not destroy your solid line. So that's what I was able to get done basically on the chassis here. But I've got some actually very good news. Let me grab something. Oh, here we go. Something to set this on. I've got these loose wires here hanging out. So I've got just a reminder, I've got the fuel line hanging out here, and now I've got a brake line. I've got all these lines are gonna be hanging out here, so I keep it kind of propped up on a paint bottle to keep otherwise those lines would be getting all bent up. But anyways, good news. So I've got good news. More parts have arrived. So let me move some stuff out of the way and we can take a look at what came in. So as you know, I've been waiting to wire the motor because I needed the 45-degree boots for the plug wires, which are in here. Let me see, where are we at here? They are, let me just pull all this out. How about it? They are here. So we've got the 45-degree boots, so now I can finish wiring the motor, which is great news because now I can get the motor installed finally. Once those wires are in, I'll be able to install the motor, and then we can make connections with the exhaust and the drive shaft. And so the rear end can get put in, the exhaust can get put in, and I think these are the only lines that I need to run to the back were the brake line and the fuel line. I still haven't decided if I want to do a return line. I might run, because there's a wire that comes out of the sending unit for the fuel gauge. My brain does not work anymore. You can see the wheels turning as I try to think of words. Yeah, there's a wire that comes out, so I might run just a little thin wire out of there. I don't think I'll run it all the way to the front or anything, but just kind of underneath the rear end, just to give the impression that there's that wire coming out of there, try to make a little boot for it. And I think that'll give the final details in the back. But point being is we can get the motor in. I go on tangents also. My brain just goes all different directions. We can get the motor in to get all that installed. And I pretty much have it all finalized that we can get it installed, which we're this close to having the bottom of this car done, which I'm excited about because that's just one more check off the list, right? So anyways, that's the boots. We also got, I got some jack stands in, and this is for other stuff, just stuff around the shop. I got the old NASCAR build. I don't know if how many of you guys actually watched the NASCAR build that didn't have any wheels? I bought a kit that had no wheels or tires. I didn't go about buying anymore, but I thought I would sit it on jack stands. That's what those are for. But then I also got the battery and the battery terminal. So this is exciting. So we can, if I can get it to open, we can get to work to kind of finalizing the engine bay, because the battery is going to be sitting right here. And I needed these terminals so that I can run all the power wire. So I'm going to have obviously the power and ground coming out of it, but I also have power and ground that needs to run into the firewall back to the stereo system. So I needed those to be able to complete that. So that's exciting to have that. I also went ahead and ordered, and we've talked about this, I went ahead and ordered the 2-inch radiator hose for up top, but the fittings, I'll have to check again, the fittings have been out of stock. I can't find them anywhere. The fittings for this, which are the little AN looking fittings, so that I can kind of clean up the ends of where it plugs into is my radiator around here? Where it plugs into the radiator and where it plugs into the thermostat, just to make a clean fit there. Those are out of stock, so I can't do it yet, but that's okay. I wanted to go ahead and order the hose, so we have it on hand. It's ready to go, and we can put that in anytime. That's not a big deal. But and then I keep getting they keep sending these carburetors. I've got them twice now, so I've got. I guess they're, good. They're actually different carburetors. This looks like, I can't really tell what they are. Let's see. Yeah, they are different carburetors, so that's good. Yeah. Okay, but I'm getting quite the collection of carburetors. So anyways, I'll throw those in the storage box. I appreciate getting them. It's really cool. But anyways, that's where we're at. I think we're making good progress. I think the underside of this is looking good. I'm going to keep working on this line here to really kind of just suck it in tight on there. What I've been doing is just taking my needle nose pliers and just really mashing it in. That's how I did these lines. I don't know. It's kind of working, I guess. You let me know if it's working. Do you think it's looking okay? I think it's turning out all right. I'm gonna run that. I think before tomorrow I'll run a little wire there. I'll finish the rear end, but and I'll try to kind of work on getting this seated a little better. But the main thing is I'm going to get the motor wired up. The plug wires finished on the motor so that we can get it installed. I'll probably go ahead and try to install it tonight too, because I'm excited about getting that done. And then I'll get as much done as I can further from that. If I can get the rear end and the exhaust in, I'm going to do it. But anyways, you have to come back tomorrow and see how far we get. I appreciate you joining me today. I really do. Leave those comments down below. What do you think? What do you think about the new lines that I've been running? Does it seem right? I got to still try to make a little bit of proportioning valve. I guess I should have mentioned I actually tried making one here. This was my first attempt at a proportioning valve. It's too big. This thing's going to have to be tiny, like compared to this is a little bit too big. I don't know if I can even, I might have to dig through the parts bin and see if there's something, again, that we can kind of repurpose into a proportioning valve, because it's so small, it's hard for me with the tools I have to cut. I mean, I was able to drill it out. But anyways, if you have any ideas, let me know down in the description. Oh, I also need to find something for fuel filters. So that's something else that I'll try to put together before tomorrow. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the description. Not the description. I keep saying the description. Comment section. Put the comments in the comment section. You're going to have a lot of trouble putting them in the description. I don't think you can without my login. So put them in the comment section. I kind of fixed my brain again. Comment section. Anyways, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell. I don't know, do all those things you do on YouTube. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
This night, you gotta find